Mr. Inherited, back again. Listen, how many of us got 500 credit scores and we like, how did they come up with this number? I don't get it. How they came up with this number? Let's talk about it. Let's jump right into it, y'all.
Ever applied for credit, like an auto loan, a credit card, or a mortgage? The lender reviewing your application probably pulled your credit report and FICO score. But how are credit reports and scores created? The three main credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, compile and maintain the information that makes up your credit report. The report includes the status of your credit accounts, like credit cards and loans, and details such as when you open the accounts, your credit limits, balance, and payment history. It also includes recent credit inquiries, public records, and debt collections. Typically, the lender will also request your FICO score, which is used in over 90% of lending decisions. This three-digit number, ranging from 300 to 850, reflects the information in your credit report. A higher score means you are less likely to default based upon the credit information in your credit report. Because each credit bureau has different data, your credit score can be slightly different for each credit report.
So that kind of explain it, right, y'all? So you'll be wondering, hey, man, why my Experian, I got a 700, but over at Equifax, I got a 640. Why is such a big difference? Well, most of the time, some of the stuff that's reporting at Equifax might not be reporting at Experian. So if you actually pull your report and you looked at it, you'll see that it's not every account is reporting on every single bureau. And these are things that y'all got to look out for when you're looking at your account.
FICO, the developer of the FICO score, is an independent analytic firm. FICO is not a credit bureau and does not access or store your credit data. FICO's role is to develop predictive analytic models for translating credit data into the FICO score, which has a proven track record of predicting defaults.
Hey, so FICO, just so y'all know, y'all be like, my FICO score, my FICO score. Well, your FICO score don't come from the credit bureaus. FICO is a whole different model that the credit bureaus actually use to make your credit score, right? That's a system that's put in place to dictate your probability of being able to pay something back. So when you look at your score and you got a 500 credit score, well, that ain't based on like your probability of what you're doing now. Is your probability of what you're gonna be doing, right? When somebody lends you money, that's like a trust factor number, pretty much. That's how they determine whether or not you're gonna be trustworthy if they lend you money. So FICO is not associated with the credit bureaus.
Credit bureaus, so they can generate your FICO score. So the credit bureau pulls all this information together and generates both your credit report and FICO score to sell to the lender.
Y'all heard that? Wait, did y'all hear that? I don't know. Let's back that up. Maybe y'all ain't hear it.
And FICO score to sell to the lender.
Wait. Maybe y'all didn't. Let me go back a little further. Hold up. Let's listen again.
Credit data into the FICO score, which has a proven track record of predicting defaults. FICO then licenses these models to credit bureaus so they can generate your FICO score. So the credit bureau pulls all this information together and generates both your credit report and FICO score to sell to the lender.
Bum. So the FICO, they actually license the whole model to the bureaus, meaning like your score ain't even necessarily from the bureaus, right? But they have inserted themselves as the authoritative figure, so they were able to license that model or that algorithm that they have, right, in order to dictate your scores. Now, when they get that, I don't know if y'all caught it, but they sell your information to the lenders. So if you was wondering how the credit bureaus make money, there you go. They sell your info. That's how they stay in business. That's why when you fight this information that's on your credit report, that's why they be fighting back. That's why they give you a hard time, because that info that's on that credit report is valuable data. It's worth millions. That's why they do it. And that's how they make money, in case y'all didn't know that.
The credit bureau sells both to the lender at a price that the credit bureau sets. The lender then reviews these along with other factors like your assets and income and makes a decision to approve the loan or not. If a lender doesn't approve the loan application, they are required by law to let you know why. The notification will likely include the factors in your credit report that impacted your credit score.
That's why when you go and you apply for something, the person that's pulling your credit, that's doing that hard inquiry, they actually got to pay for your credit score. Every time you see that hard inquiry, they're paying to pull your credit. So when you apply, they're sending that information or they're requesting that information from the bureau. The bureau like, hey, it's gonna cost you a fee. They're like, all right, what's the fee? Fee X amount. All right, cool. Bum. Let me send this over to you. Send it over to the lender. The lender looks at it and determine whether or not they want to work with you. And that's why a lot of times when y'all go to these car dealers, y'all see a bunch of inquiries on y'all credit report because they actually looking they looking with more than one lender that's willing to take your score, that's willing to take your predictive ability to pay back what you borrowed, essentially.
If the information in your credit report is inaccurate, you can work with the credit bureau to fix it. While credit bureaus have extensive consumer credit data provided by lenders, some Americans have limited or even no data in their credit file. This can happen if you've never applied for credit, stopped using credit, or you're new to the country. To help these consumers establish credit, FICO is finding new data sources outside of the main credit bureaus, such as phone or utility bill payment history or bank account activity. This is often referred to as alternative data and is not typically reported to the main credit bureaus.
So you're like, what? Hold up. How do you get my bank account information? Hey, I got something y'all probably don't know. That is something called secondary bureaus. Y'all need to look into that. Secondary bureaus. There are other bureaus that actually, they're like data entry companies, and they go out and they find your information. Your information is being sold all throughout this crazy World Wide Web. Everybody got some type of access to it. That's why data breaches and stuff be happening, really. But you just heard, and it's true, your banking info could be sold. Phone bills, all that kind of stuff. And they can know what you're doing. They can know what you're working with. And you think it's only based on your credit. Literally, that's what you think is based on, not knowing people got access to your financials from your bank. And that's from secondary bureaus. I'm going to let y'all Google it. I'm not going to go into that. We'll talk about that on another video.
You can learn more about how credit reports and scores work and about FICO at FICOscore.com.
Hey, so listen, tell me what y'all thoughts are. I mean, everybody want to know how scores are made up. You just found out how it's made up. You found out how sometimes they know stuff about you that more than you know about yourself, right? So, hey, check it out. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, like the video, share the video so that other people can learn. We out here, we trying to make sure y'all educated, make sure y'all know what's going on with your credit scores, make sure you understand how credit score is even built. So make sure y'all follow me on all social media platforms, Mr. Inherited. Also, the ebook is in the link down below. If you want to learn how to actually build your credit out, learn how to build a killer credit score, go ahead, cop the ebook. It's down below. You can also go ahead and if you want help with credit repair, there's a link in the description down below where we'll go ahead and help you. Or you can do it on your own by using the ebook. It tells you everything you need to know with some sample letters as well for you to send out. All right, so with that, we're going to catch y'all in the next video.